Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. We are speaking with Sergeant Ed Berman, the lead of our COVID-19 task force here in Ashland, as well as Diane Mortensen, the chair of the Board of Health. Diane and Ed, welcome back to Around the Clock.
Thank you for having us.
Ed, we're going to start with you this morning. Getting ready to reopen, what has the COVID-19 task force been working on to allow that to happen?
So we've been working with our Community and Economic Development Director, Beth Reynolds. One of the things, and I have to give a kudos to Laura Clifford, Secretary of the Department too. When we got the guidelines on Monday, the first thing that we started doing was reaching out to all of our houses of worship, making sure they had all the proper documentation that they needed, and offering them guidance on filling out their safety plans and whatever they might need so that they can hold services this week. Beth Reynolds has been reaching out to all of the businesses in town that will be able to open on Monday. For example, our barbershops and hair salons, making sure they have all the proper documentation and guidance that they need.
Okay, and Diane, Board of Health, what have you been working on to help with this reopening plan?
Well, we had our Board of Health meeting on Tuesday night, and Ed was there giving updates. Tuesday night, we met with, the farmers market, and we met with the community garden on their reopening plan to keep everybody safe, of course. They did a fabulous job. Again, kudos to them. They did a very thorough plan, submitted to the board, and we gave them our blessing for opening once they're allowed to. So that was helpful for them, because I think a lot of people are looking forward to both of those events and being outside.
So through the governor's guidelines, certain things have already opened. We're looking to open our outdoor spaces as of May 25th. Ed, how are we going to enforce the guidelines and make sure people know of what those guidelines are as they go and enjoy our open spaces?
So initially, obviously, we're not out, and that's under the guidance of Joe Richardson, our facilities director. He was appointed by our town manager to oversee the opening of public fields and our town buildings. Obviously, there'll be no leased space, for example, like a sports team cannot come out and use our fields, but it'll be open for recreation, for a family, want to play Frisbee or what have you. The enforcement part comes either through the Board of Health initially, but our officers already have been pretty proactive, just reminding people, hey, you can't do that. And, more education. We're approaching it as a more educational piece more than an enforcement.
And some of these, we have some big events coming up beginning of June, graduation. How are we working in regards to the COVID-19 task force to make sure those things are going to be done in a safe and basically a safe way?
Well, one of the things I think that most people know that live in Ashland, that we have a great cooperation amongst departments. I mean, first of all, the schools have been in constant contact with myself and other people from the Board of Health. So we're working directly with the principal to help her with some graduation plans. We've already been working with all the schools because this week, they had student pickup of items, different things like that to make sure everybody's safe. Again, we're just working out all the particulars about graduation. We'll probably have a finalized thing on Monday. More to come on that.
So Diane, with that note, there was discussion at a select board meeting. So Board of Health gets to determine how much enforcement they would like our police department to do. Is that something you think your Board of Health will be discussing, so that as people move into open spaces, we are making sure there's enforcement as to following the rules?
Well, like Ed said, and I would like to reiterate, it's more about education and not fining people. We're all working very hard now to, like you said, including Beth Reynolds, to educate the businesses who are going to looking at opening next week. And then so it's going to be a gradual effect. The enforcement falls under the Board of Health, but we do need eyes out there, and some people just need a friendly reminder. So it's more about just going up and reminding people about what the rules are, and hopefully we can get that information out to people beforehand.
And of course, I'm sure the biggest thing we're going to remind everybody is to put your masks on.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, well, Ed and Diane, thank you so much for bringing us this update as we look to reopen. I know our open spaces are going open as of May 25th, and we're looking at opening some of our public buildings as of June 1st. So I'm sure we'll be back with both of you again as we get closer to our building opening date. Thanks again, and any last thoughts, Ed or Diane?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, Diane? Okay.
No, I just want to say thank you for everybody because it has been a group effort from multiple departments. Ed has stepped up to help out as well, and it's been an interesting ride. Thank you for having us.
That's a good way to put it. Interesting
It's
ride.
definitely a good way to put it. An interesting ride, and it's still going to be a long ride. I think we're not to the end of this yet. But thanks both of
Exactly.
you for your work, and thanks for being on Around the Clock.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching this segment. We'll be back with more Around the Clock.